Okay, we're back with Brent Norling. So, Brent, we've talked about a couple of other topics. We've gone through commercial leases. We've gone through outstanding debts. Um, Obviously, for a lot of businesses now and a lot of owners, it's an important time to look at their costs. Rent's a big cost, and then the other obviously is wages. So, in terms of that, what are you advising people with your knowledge in terms of the different types of employees that you have? And how you can tackle maybe reducing costs or at least dealing with them over these coming weeks and months.
Yeah, yeah. So look, I don't purport to be an employment lawyer. I'm an insolvency lawyer, but I'm giving out information on this because I'm also a small business owner, and I'm an employer, and I do have some real practical
I think we know your stuff.
knowledge around this. Yeah. So look, if I can help, I will. So look, I think the government have got a package, and that's probably the first place people want to look at the moment.
That's the
Won't
way.
go through that. There's
The
tons of
585 or whatever.
yeah, there's tons of information on that. Yeah, but I suppose when you're dealing with employees, and if there is a need to reduce hours or cash flow for your employees, then what I'm recommending is upfront conversations. Have a meeting. Zoom is great. Get all your staff on there, and talk through your situation and your limitations around payment, and be upfront, genuine about that. And then see if there's a deal to be done. I mean, I think some staff might just agree to cuts themselves, and so everyone as a collective can still have something. And so I know people out there are doing that. Um, and then I suppose comes down to the more nuclear options if you can't come to those agreements. So different types of employees. So you've got your trial period employees. So some people will be on trials. They're pretty easy to deal with because of the nature of their role. So those can be dismissed relatively easy. And then you've got casual employees, and I'm talking about genuinely casual people who are working casually and not just something that it says in their contract. You can just simply say, we've got no hours for you this week or next week, and deal with them like that, or however you want to structure it. And then you've got your permanent employees, and it's a bit more niggly to deal with. And so you're going to have to run a redundancy process on them if you want to change roles. And
that standard redundancy process that takes a period of time, eh? It's
yeah, and pre-corona, I think absolutely there's a big time frame that's built into the process. But I think it's very, very arguable that a nice short process is appropriate in a circumstance where we've got a pandemic. And so as long as you follow the steps around building the proposal, delivering the proposal, getting their feedback, genuinely considering it, and then making a decision, like we can bring those timeframes right in, but those steps are going to be crucial.
So, sort of to conclude, and like the other conversations we've had, first step is really communicating with the other party, seeing if you can find a solution together, and then working it on from there.
Yeah, communication is so key, and it's my message to solve most problems, because us Kiwis are notoriously bad for dunking our head in the sand. And so, a big lesson, I've had, and I think a lot of Kiwis have had, is have hard conversations and have them early.
Yeah. I think it's really important, like you say, have them before you need to have the conversation, so you at least you have some options and no one's surprised. That's awesome. Thanks very much for your time again. And I think we mentioned it before, but you've got some information coming out. You've got a book coming out.
Yep.
What's the book about?
So
I've got a bit of reading time on my hands.
So look, it's just some real practical tips on how to hibernate through this, because the reality for some businesses is their cash flow's dried up, their expenses are still there, and liquidation is a possibility. So this is a bunch of steps that they can take to avoid liquidation, and just hibernate through this period.
Awesome. Going to be really valuable information, for a lot of business owners at the moment. So good on you for putting that together. Good stuff. Thanks, mate.
All right. Cheers.